Hey guys, Ben Hines here. Eric, thanks so much for coming out again and doing another video. This is my 1993 crew cab OBS dually. So back in the day, not unlike many guys in my genre, there was just something enamoring. There must be something psychological that makes us have this sickness where we like these long and low vehicles. And so this is no exception. Back in the 90s, they started, 90s, early 2000s, started milling down the semi-22s and wrapping them in, small car tires. And so anyway, it was always one of those kinds of things. I actually found another 93 identical truck. I don't care what color it is as long as it's black. And 93 with gray interior, and sort of decided I was going to go ahead and do this process with a lowered truck and keep the 16-inch Alcoas and all that sort of thing. And then life happened, worked on a couple other projects. It's a land yacht that take up lots of real estate, so we decided to move it on down the road. And then this thing stuck for the next couple of years. It's like, why did I sell this truck? So anyway, found this one. This was actually kind of a SEMA mini truck hauler. They used to haul their mini trucks to SEMA, so there were some things that were done by Sauncey Road way back in the day out in Albuquerque. It was his personal truck, Mike Warwick, and anyway, it sort of went on the wrong path, ended up in somebody's driveway where it endured all the hailstorms and all the Texas heat, sun fade, and all that kind of stuff, as black tends to attract all the sun. But anyway, we'll do a little walk around and show you more about it. I guess where to start. It was supposed to be something very simple. We're just going to slap a paint job on it. Had the big full topper on it, and when we pulled that off and discovered that the rails, they were in bad shape, but they had been shaved. It was kind of like, we wanted to save the spirit of the build with a 21st century take on it, and so we kind of brought it into the 21st century. And everything snowballs. It's while we're here, let's do this. While we're here, let's do that. And so there's a lot that I'd really like to do. Maybe in the future, do a Duramax swap or something. But as of right now, it's only got 150,000 miles. So from 93, that's not very many miles. 454 big block TBI. They're slow, but they're torquey, and will pull a house down. So it was supposed to be a work truck, and it kind of snowballed into this. So it's like, well, what's the best of both worlds? You want to have usability, functionality. So what do? You want to make it to where you can actually drive it, where it rides good, and you can get in and out of these steep driveways, especially with such a long and low platform. Speed bumps are your enemy. So that was something we decided to do. I've been talking and networking with another friend of mine that's got a bag dually, and we were thinking of ways. What could we do? Could we do a 6-link setup on it, have the bags out in the rear? What can we do to, Lowboy out in Arizona, Todd's got this thing down where they put the bags on top of the axle, but you lose so much of your bed. You have to cut the entire bed, tub it, do, tubs, narrow the rear end, or a 3/4 ton rear end. So I wanted to be able to haul. A 2-link was out of the question because it's just not a very stable platform when you got a car hauler behind it and a $100,000 car on a car hauler. So it's like, what can we do to make this have feature and function? So built a 4-link. It's a RideTech 4-link. If we go out back, we'll probably insert some pictures and videos of the build here of what we actually did. So this is what it did not ever intend to be a laying frame bag build. This is supposed to be really a mild bag dually, and I actually a lot lower than I thought I was going to be. So it's got stock bed, stock floor, stock tubs. We just kind of revamped and block sanded the already shaved tailgate, and went ahead and Frenched in the roll pan, and the truck is appropriately named Lowdown. The truck has the grafted in body line. These body lines did not ever exist from the factory, as well as, like we mentioned before, the stake pockets all shaved. And there was some guys locally that actually did this truck, and they did a phenomenal job, really knocked it out of the park for what it is, and for just an old work truck. So they're custom cut 22s, flat faced outers. So what that does is that allows you to tuck that wheel under the stock dually fender, and without having to narrow the rear end, and it gives you a really neat profile where those wheels are stacked together, almost like just a big single wheel slick on the back. Just trying to think what else. It's got the old cowl. I can't remember if it's Sir Michael's or what it is, but it's got the cowl closure. Those are actually very, very hard, hard to find. They're highly sought after. I actually had a Phantom grill in this truck. They're also sought after, but it was just a little too 90s. I was wanting something just to bring it in just a little bit. Of course, the dash, the interior is factory. It's just exactly how it came from GM. But as time progresses, we'll probably get to the interior at some point, as it is starting to show its age. That in the front's just a camera, when you're pulling up to those parking curbs. Just want to be able to make sure you know where you're at. Tell you what, Eric, let me pop the hood. I have not cleaned under here. I have no idea what we're going to find. So these are slosh tubs, but they are just the mild tubs. So as you can tell, it's dusty. I've been driving it. Those are the mild tubs. So I mean, you've got still a whole lot of real estate, but the factory tub, they tend to rub more on this part because it has more of a progressive angle there. So we put the mild slosh tubs in, and again, it's just a factory TBI. I mean, that's exactly how I bought the truck. Pretty much what you see is what you get. Okay, as we continue on around, everything is, the whole story is really what happens underneath. These are actually infamous arms, upper and lower control arms, custom arms, because we wanted to push that tire forward, and we did go ahead and do the 3/4 ton conversion. So the dually hub is gone. It's got just 3/4 ton rotors and all that kind of stuff, and that gives you a lot more controllability and ride. And did a couple of different shock setups, but ended up going with just a center mount shock and just kind of a drop shock on the front. Nothing crazy. The truck rides incredible though. Okay, out back, Ride Tech 4-link. We ended up having to do a panhard bar because when you put the bags behind the axle, you end up losing that real estate to do a Watts link. So all you bag guys know exactly what I'm talking about, the Watts link that keeps it level from side to side, even from side to side. So as an attribute of doing the bags out back, we thought about maybe doing them forward or whatever, but I wanted to have as much lifting force from the axle back to be able to haul a car, even a 2-car hauler at some point if I wanted to, and have all of that done and ready to go. What else we did? We did a DC fab underbed notch. So what that does is it still gives you lots of real estate. Out back, we're laying 1 inch off the ground frame. Up front, we're doing probably about that. I think it's right at 1 inch, and that's with the mild tubs, and we are limited by our tub clearance, and that's it. But I mean, it tucks wheel. Those wheels are inside. That was another thing that I had Keith do at Infamous is a lot of these setups, I'm not going to say any names, but some of the major builders, they have the shopping cart effect is what I call it, or the UPS truck effect, where the wheels are tucked so far inbound that they look goofy. Now you can there's a lot of attributes to that because you can do full lock-to-lock steering all the way down, and so it works really well, but I wanted something that was pushed out a little bit more. I like everything to be tight, just to have that tight and compact. Everything's compacted, nothing's rubbing, but it's very close. Underneath, we did the Timworks setup, Air Max. These are the X series compressors, and 2 3-gallon tanks, so we're running 6 gallons capacity, and the Airlift 3P. The Airlift 3P is a proven system. I'm thinking about doing some height sensors on it, but for now it works just fine. You got a few extra people or an extra load on, put a little more in the rear. I'm running 2,800 pound bags in the rear instead of the standard 3,500 pound because the diameter was smaller, and that allowed more clearance for that panhard bar. Again, there's probably better ways to do it, but that's the only thing I could think of retaining everything in a compact way where you've got a stock bed floor. People look at the bed floor that build these trucks and they say, how did you do that? And it was just something that took a lot of thinking and a lot of planning, and really just kind of, throwing the towel in and saying, we're going to see if this works or not. Just factory stock interior. The rear seat's pretty clean, but I've got junk in there. I'm going to build a little better setup for my controller, the Airlift controller, but that's what I got right now. I think I'm actually going to take those gauges out of the dash and put that controller up there. Yeah, they're reliable. Throttle body injection. I'm putting throttle body injection on a Jeep truck right now because they're just so reliable. Wow. Pretty bulletproof. Well, I guess that's about it. You want to go do some rollers?